Okay, there's a lot of businesses out there who are finding it very difficult getting funding, but the key thing is you've got to give yourself the best chance. Get your business into a state before you go and see the bank that gives you the best chance of getting an overdraft or a loan or whatever it is you need. So first of all, consider what the bank will want. Okay, maybe the bank manager has never seen you in his life before and knows nothing about your business. You can't just walk in off the street and say, give me £20,000. He's going to want to know the story. He's going to want to know why you deserve to have a £20,000 loan and how you're going to repay it. Don't just assume the bank's there to lend money. They're not. They're there to make a profit on lending money to good businesses, because if they don't get their money back, they won't make any profit. So, what are the key things the banks want? Let's look at that first. First of all, what they call the serviceability of their loans or overdrafts. And that means you've got to show that you have the ability going forward to repay the loans or overdraft and pay the interest and still have enough cash over to pay your wages and costs and all the usual. You need really to have a good credit history. You don't have to be AAA rated, as they say, but have a good credit history, and that's both the business and you personally, if you're a director or the owner of the business. Don't worry if you've had a few sort of ups and downs. You can explain those to the bank manager, and he'll take into account what you say. It's very important to be as transparent as possible about your business, so tell him the good and the bad. He will respect you more for that. Make sure that you give the bank reliable numbers, whether it's your monthly management accounts or a cash flow forecast going forward. And finally, most of the time the banks will want to see some sort of security for their loan or overdraft. That may be security in assets like your house or the company's buildings, or it could be what they call a personal guarantee, which is where you sign a guarantee, even if you're a company, that you as a director will stand by the loan. If the company goes down, you will be personally responsible for paying the money back. If you are offered facilities by the bank, remember there's a price for everything, so negotiate to get better terms. Don't take necessarily the first offer. And I would say go and see as many of the banks as possible that you've got time. Don't just go to a bank because perhaps your parents banked with them or because you've used them for 10 years. If your business has changed a lot or you need a particularly large sum, go and talk to 2 or 3 of the other banks as well. Don't let your bank be surprised by anything that happens in the business. Make sure they have forecasts. If there is a need for extra lending, perhaps in 3 months, 6 months' time, let them know as soon as possible. Don't go in a week before you need an increase in your overdraft. Surprise the bank manager, because the answer is likely to be no. And finally, I think, be professional and consistent in your dealings with the banks. Perhaps every 3 months or 6 months, give the manager a call, or perhaps email, just to update him or her on what the business is doing, the latest management accounts, how you see the future, and so on. Because if he understands your business constantly, and you're one of those businesses at the front of his mind, that will give you a very good chance of getting funding.